So Nimrod started this as he got hold of the remains of the people before the flood, and according to the Judaic accounts, Nimrod was a descendant of the giants, the corrupted DNA. You can safely say that he was the child of the Nephilim giants.
So he spoke to the secret societies that were created before the flood, and then he found the place where all of that fiasco happened in its concentrated form, and hence he created the valley of Shinar as the valley where a new life was formed, such as the AI. And that AI must have been generated by his forefathers. And if you look into the accounts of the ancient scriptures and the hieroglyphs, you will see one name that has been appearing since the dawn of the modern civilization, and the name is Hamaan. Hamaan can be found in Egypt, and Hamaan can also be found in ancient Sumeria. Now, if you apply the whole notion of the old Bhagavad Gita, it says the history repeats itself. And as you look into the Oriental studies and the Oriental traditions, they always talk about that history repeats itself. Now, keeping all of that in mind, if you look around, what do we have that is the equivalent to Hamaan in our modern day civilization? Elon Musk. Technically speaking, Hamaan is like a title that is given to a powerful order obeyer. Yes, someone that never profoundly challenges the authority of the emperor. And he, or the character of Hamaan, is always placed in between the order giver and the order followers. So you have the emperor. Nowadays we have NATO, United Nations, USA, and the CFR. And then you have the armies of United Nations and other countries. And before the armies you have the banks. There's an hierarchy within the army, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the middle person or the middle system. That system, you can safely say, is the one that is created by the private entities. And we have none other than our own Elon Musk. That is like the Hamaan of modern day times. So if you look at the AI, the thing with AI is the AI never questions the order directly if it's coming from the higher authorities. Although AI is as smart as almost human beings, but AI lacks that creative thinking outside the box. So that creative thinking from outside the box, that notion is missing in the AI. Same thing. If you look at the Apocrypha and the ancient traditions, you will never see Hamaan questioning the emperor. But Hamaan can be found obeying and relaying the orders downwards in the hierarchy to the normal foot soldiers. And within foot soldiers, we have different categories like the banks, supermarkets, the petroleum companies, all the technical companies, all the transportation, all of your food and your day-to-day necessity suppliers, including the governments. And then you have the armies on the side. So they are all separate entities, but they are clamped together under the umbrella of the armies of the emperor. And someone has to relay the order. This is where Hamaan comes in. So if you look at the pharaohs, the Nimrods, they all talk about someone that is working on behalf of the emperor or the pharaoh and is commanding on behalf of the pharaoh. And each and every time, all of these three genomes are mentioned separately, like Nimrod, Hamaan, and the armies. Pharaoh, Hamaan, and his armies. You can scan through all the ancient texts and you'll be able to find these three different genomes. It displays the hierarchical orders and also it displays the categories. So maybe
Nimrod and the pharaohs, they are genetically modified beings operating as humans. Hamaan is created to follow and obey orders down in the hierarchical positions. And then the last one is the armies. That means humans that can also become a part of that group that follows the pharaohs. They have to follow the orders through Hamaan. Exactly like we have our phones. They are dictating our lives. That's how these emperors always had achieved their nefarious positions and their nefarious ideologies, and they managed to achieve their targets by manipulating the masses.